Very, very welcome to everybody. I am Jared Johnson, and this is the Day Traders FX website membership group. Most of you guys got this email because you're on my email list or you're on Cam's email list. So nice to see you guys. You guys are all very welcome, and it's super awesome to be with you all. Again, I'm Jared Johnson, Day Traders FX. Let me just introduce Day Traders FX real quick for anybody that has not heard of it or is not familiar. We are a live website, trade group, everything. We like to do fun webinars. We like to talk about market analysis. We always have a risk disclaimer, reminding everybody that trading is risky and to keep all of that in mind. We hold live sessions. With Day Traders FX, we have live sessions every day at 6 a.m. Pacific time, which is 9 a.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. UK, Monday through Friday. And we're on anywhere from 35 minutes to 3 hours, just depending on how much activity is going on that morning in the market. We do live trading together. We do analysis together. Everything is recorded, posted in our video library, and accessible to members as well as friends and visitors for a small fee. Anybody that would like to kind of see what Day Traders FX is all about, we've got a couple of membership options. You can go to daytradersfx.com, click on join. That'll take you here. You can sign up, try out our monthly membership, and get a 14-day free trial. It's a great way to kind of test things out, see what you think about it. If you do not like it, no hard feelings ever. So everybody gets a 14-day free trial. If you have a crazy schedule and you want to just kind of check out the videos, you can also get access to all of our videos that we post every single day for $49 a month, or you can pick them up individually, a video here and there. You can also save a pretty good amount of money on signing up for our annual membership, a little over 30%. So that's a pretty good little way to go about it. This is kind of what our members area looks like. We have live webinars every day. We post trade calls and market analysis, and we do all kinds of updates. And there's a live chat in there that's going pretty much 24 hours a day, which is super exciting. So that's always a good way to go. As far as just a couple of links and reminders, we have a free chat. This is a Telegram chat that I've set up, and I just wanted traders from all around the world to get together and talk about what they're trading and talk about what they're doing. Everybody is welcome to join this. This costs no dollars and no cents, or euros, or pounds, or yen, or whatever. It's just totally free, and anybody can jump in. Check out this link right here, bit.ly/DTFX free chat, Day Traders FX free chat. So DTFX free chat. I'll post all of these details in the email as well for anybody that's not part of this, but check that out. That's a great way to go. Website, of course, is daytradersfx.com. Our video library, if you just want to pick up the occasional daily market analysis video, you can do that for about $3.99, and that's at ondemand.daytradersfx.com. If you have any questions about anything that we talk about today, anything regarding anything ever, just shoot me over an email at support@daytradersfx.com. I'll be happy to get back to you very, very quickly. You can also follow us on Twitter at daytradersfx. So it's a great way to go and stay in touch. I'll make sure to post these links at the end of the webinar as well. Okay, so enough of that stuff. Let's get down to what we're going to do today, and I am pretty super excited about it. We have a guest host today, Cam Hawkins, joining us all the way from New Zealand, which is pretty darn far away. So we're happy to have him with us. Cam is the host of 52traders.com podcast. That's where we met. He actually contacted me. We did a podcast together. It was a good time, and I think as many of you guys heard the podcast, and so we kind of stayed in contact and talked about some of the other things he was up to and I was up to, and decided we better do a webinar together. So that's what we're here doing. He is also the founder of automatemytrading.com. This is where he educates people on how to build an EA. Now, just to kind of give a couple of quick details about this, those that don't know what an EA is, that's the robot you may have heard referred to. It's the little program inside of MetaTrader that will do things for you, right? Move stop losses automatically for you, or open and close trades on your criteria, the conditions you put in there. Some of you may be thinking, I'm not a programmer. I don't want to learn how to do this stuff. I'd rather sit and watch, trades happen and do them. And that's all super great. Another great thing that you can do with these EAs is you can kind of put together a trading system that you think is interesting and back test it and forward test it, even if you want to do it manually. So EAs are very, very valuable to test your ideas, to actually automate your trading, to do a whole bunch of great things. MetaTrader is great about that, and you can really just do anything and everything with these EAs, and it's a great way to go. So Cam is going to talk to us today a little bit about how to make this whole thing happen. So I am super excited to have him on with us. I see that we've got some questions in here. Okay, good. I think everything is working. So, without further ado, I'm excited to show you guys what Cam is going to present for us today. It's really really good stuff. It's super interesting, and I think it's going to be very very interesting to you guys as well. So, I'm pretty excited to jump into that. We're going to flip over and have a look at Cam's screen.
Hey guys, how's it going? Cam Hawkins here from the 52 Traders podcast and automatemytrading.com. Thank you very much for the intro, Jared. Really good to be on the show.
Excellent, excellent, great to have you. We're very happy to have you. Excellent. All right, looks
Okay.
good. You sound great, and your screen looks awesome.
Righty ho. So let's get underway today. So today's going to be a bit of an interesting webinar for you guys and those that aren't at Automate My Trading or don't know of Automate My Trading. It'll be really interesting for you guys to see what can actually be done and how simply things can be done, especially if you know what you're doing. So as Jared mentioned, I'm Cam Hawkins from the 52 Traders podcast, and I interview traders we're trying to do it on a weekly basis. I pretty much get there on a weekly basis and find out what really makes them tick to help improve my trading and everyone else who listens to the show. So if you're ever short of an idea, then just jump over there and get some inspiration at episode 54 at the moment. So that's me, that's Automate My Trading, and that's 52 Traders. So let's get on with the presentation today. So let me see why this isn't working, but here we go. Right, so today we're going to cover three main things. So number one, hang on, let me shrink that down so I can see what my presentation says. So we're going to cover why you're probably not building EAs the easy way, first up. Then we're going to talk about how to build fully automated EAs in minutes. Then you're going to actually watch as I build you an EA step by step live on this webinar today. Plus, gets even better, if you watch till the end, you're going to get the free EA that I build on the show. And this is the EA that I built, and funnily enough, I actually only came up with it in the weekend, so I haven't gone through and really thrash tested it, but I have tried a few variations, and it's actually looking pretty good. And this was inspired by an interview that I did a couple of weeks ago, and the trader's actually on the show now on 52 Traders. So this sort of thinking is slightly different than what I would have normally gone for, but as you can see, it tends to work, although you do have to suffer a little bit of drawdown to get there. So this is on a $1,000 account on the Great British Pound US dollar cable, testing on 99.9% backdata with no chart errors, which is really important. And I've just used the current spread that the broker that I test on is offering, which is 1.1 pips. And this is, as we said, cable. And this is the same system on Euro US dollar. And we're going to build that EA today. Okay, so you're going to see how easy it is to build an EA and what you could, when actually you're going to take this home as well. So if you want to give it a whirl and back test it yourself and see how it goes, then you can try that out for yourself. Righty-ho. So the first thing, why you're not building EAs the easy way. So you're probably hiring an EA developer. Now, who's hired an EA developer before? And I'm just going to jump into the chat here quickly, if I can see it. Where's my chat? Oh, here we go. To see who's hired an EA developer before. So just put Y in the chat box so we can see if you've hired an EA developer before for whatever reason. James, yes, we've got 1. Jared, 2, 3. Baz. Move to Mac. Oh, sorry. Baz, not Alvaro. So there's got at least 3, 4. Any more want to put their hand up? They've hired an EA developer before. Friend of mine from Russia, Nightmare. Oh, yep. Had no idea EA existed. Okay, so newbie. No. Okay, so look, so some of you have gone out there and hired EA developers before. And look, I've done the same thing. I've hired EA developers before. And I'm going to give you a bit of an insight, if you haven't hired one, into my experience, and probably some of yours, especially the guy from Russia who said it was a nightmare. So let's have a look here. So you end up paying way too much for a simple EA, and I sure did for the first EA that I created. You end up constantly chasing developers for new versions to test. So basically, you just end up chasing them, and you end up going back and forth trying to get them to build the strategy correctly. Okay, so yeah, you'll find out in a second. You end up waiting for days, weeks, even months sometimes to test the next version. So long, in fact, you probably forget what you're supposed to be testing, and the developer forgets what he's supposed to be fixing. And the main reason for this is they don't really care if the EA performs or not. So there's no real vested interest in them. All they really care about, and I'm not talking about everyone here, but the majority of them just care about the fact that, you know, I'm building the EA for you. I don't really care if the strategy works or not. You want me to build a product, I'll build that product. So these are the main reasons that hiring an EA developer falls down. And it's not just you or me. Here's a thread from one of my subscribers. So it's quite an interesting thread, and I've pasted it in here so you can see all the boxes highlighted in red are the ones that are of interest. So you can see the date up here is, for the first one, is May 2015. So if you ignore the first bit in the red. I'm now having the X system written for me by some Indonesian guy who only wants a few quid for it. I realise there's a bit much to ask you to keep writing the EAs for me when you're so busy with your new venture, and he was talking about the podcast. Then a month later, so we see that in June, yes, that's not a bad idea, having two moving averages. We'll do some tests on that. My programmer assures me that he's still working on it, but I reckon he's living it up in Barbados running my EA. And then a month later, in July, the guy said he wants to wait for some Malaysian holiday period to end and does not want payment, but will do it as a favour. Sounds great, but I'd rather pay for it and have it done now. Don't know what to do, can still day trade, longer time frames, was hoping to be well underway by now. It's a long time between non-farm payrolls. And then finally, in month 4, no, he wanted to wait a month, so I contacted him on the 1st, and he says he'll start again, but no word yet. So I'll now find someone else, now day trading the X system on whatever he's day trading it on. So as you can see here, this is just an example of one guy's frustration with hiring an EA developer. So there's reason number 2, you're probably trying to learn MQL code. Okay, so who has tried to learn MQL before? And I'll be interested to see what we have here in terms of people. So has anyone tried to learn MQL? Damien has. Neil, Paul, Trevor, yep, John. A lot of people have tried to learn it. Yes, yep, Jan, yep. So it seems like more people have tried to learn Casper to learn MQL than actually hire a developer. Now, I'll be interested to find out what your experience was. Was it easy or hard, or are you now proficient in MQL? Were you able to create EAs at will? Don't answer the question now, but what I'll do is go through this and maybe we can chat about it at the end. Easier to, yeah, time consuming from Jan, yeah. So there's some issues with MQL, and this is what I found. Learning to code without any prior experience is a big ask, and I mean, I actually have done coding before. I know how to code. I can code in PHP. I can code in Cold Fusion. I can do HTML, CSS, all that sort of stuff. And I know that learning MQL is just, it's not as, you know, you might be able to create some EAs. You might be able to create one EA, but it is a big ask, especially if you've got no prior experience in coding. So most traders get it wrong, and they think learning MQL will give them the advantage and the control they need to build good EAs. But you end up spending most of your time learning to code and actually coding, fixing little commas and full stops and whatever is wrong with the code, and not enough time testing, tweaking, and optimizing your strategies. So what's the answer? Well, it's something that you most probably know about. It's something you've probably tried using in the past but gave up on. It's something that doesn't require any coding or knowledge of coding, and it's exactly what you need to take ultimate control of your trading. I'm talking about EA builders. Okay? Now, 4 reasons you should learn to use an EA builder. There's 4 good reasons here. You can do 99.9% of what you can do coding in MQL. You'll say goodbye to slow, lazy, bad developers. You'll throw away any thoughts of learning MQL, and you'll never want to buy a trading robot again. There is probably one other thing I'd throw in here, which is around the you can do 99.9% of what you can do coding MQL. I know some people, and this comes through in some of the chats I have with people, is they think that using an EA builder gives you inefficient code. And yes, I will agree, the code is slightly less efficient than if you coded it from scratch. But you actually, unless you're doing high frequency trading, there's hardly any impact, if any at all. I mean, the fact that you're going to have spread changes and slippage anyway with your broker, the EA doesn't really, an EA builder is not really going to impact that unless you're doing high frequency trades. Now, which EA builder to choose from? There are tons of them out there, and I went off and reviewed a whole bunch of them, 14 of them in fact. I've got it up on a website somewhere, and the one that I found was head and shoulders above the rest from the ease of building, not necessarily from I suppose the cost perspective or anything else. It was just the ease of building and the functionality, and the one that I chose and use on a regular basis and recommend people give a go is FX Dreamer. Now, it does have a free subscription, so you can go on there, use it unlimited for free with some restrictions there, and it has a monthly subscription of, it works out for me about $7 to $8 a month, which is pretty cheap. But I've heard EA builders are limited, is what most people say. It's a common perception, and I think that might have been the case in the past. But in the last 10 years, this is what we can do with an EA builder. And this is only a few of the things. You can use multiple timeframes. You can work with chart objects. You can use DLL-locked custom indicators. You can use multiple symbols in a single strategy. You can use external data to drive strategies, like scraping a website. You can dynamically adjust traditional or custom indicators. You can hide your stop loss and take profit from brokers, and you can obviously read candlestick patterns. You can basically do anything. There's literally nothing I've found that can't be done with an EA builder in this day and age. And I did actually first look at them, and as you probably did in the past, look at them 7 or 8 years ago, and gave it a go. And I think, you know, that's 7 or 8 years of development that's been under the hood here, and these guys have really sort of taken it to the next level, and there's pretty much, you can pretty much do anything. Right, so the magical formula. So Jared sort of touched on EAs before and what they are. So they're trading robots. So just to clarify, and I know some people out there who are completely unfamiliar with EAs, expert advisors is what they're called, and trading robots, then I'm going to sort of give you a high-level view of how it works. So you take a trading strategy. You create an expert advisor, and we're going to use an EA builder to do that. Okay, so it's a little bit of software that we're going to plug in, and the EA builder, sorry, is called FX Dreamer, and it's a little bit of software we're going to plug into our MetaTrader 4 trading platform. Okay, so it only works with MetaTrader 4 or 5 for that matter. At the end of it, you're going to have a fully automated system or strategy, or a tool which is semi-automated that gives you alerts and signals. And this is a chart that gets produced out of your MetaTrader 4 platform. Okay, so this is how the process works. So trading strategy, EA builder to build your software, plug the software into your MetaTrader 4 platform or 5, and then you run a back test and get a report, or you run it live and you get a report. Okay, so that's how it works. Now, for the tricky bit today, and I've got a question from Mel here. Does the tool run? Oh, it's disappeared from my screen. Sorry. I'll carry on with the prezzo. So the strategy today. So this is an unusual strategy, but as I said, it was inspired by a guy I had on the show just recently, and this guy's making $1,000 a day trading with one EA, and he's got a unique approach, and I like that approach, and I think maybe this approach is going to hold me in better stead than some other approaches I've taken. So let's talk about the strategy quickly. So it's an MA stack, so moving average stack with an engulfing pattern, and it's a what's the word, Jared? What's the word where you're going against what everyone else? Contrarian. It's a contrarian type of strategy. Okay, so where you're sort of going against what everyone else is doing to a certain degree. Right, let's move on to the strategy. So it's a sell entry only, which is quite different for most of the EAs that I build, which are sell and buy. So it's a sell entry only. Now we look for the 13, 21, and 50 EMA are below each other, so in a stack below each other in order, and below the 200 EMA. And I'll show you on a chart in a second what that looks like. Then we look for a bullish engulfing pattern. So we're essentially in a downtrend. We're looking for a bullish engulfing pattern. and then we enter a sell trade. We don't enter a buy trade, so we're going sort of contrarian. We enter a sell trade, and then we're going to exit, not at a predefined, well, actually there is a bit of a predefined profit target, but we're going to close profitable trades at the end of the day, and we're not going to use a stop loss. And so this was sort of brought about by the interview I had this week, or the last couple of weeks on the podcast. Okay, so no stop loss, which is something new to me, so I've always tried to trade with a stop loss in the past. So this is how it works. Let's get started and do it. So in the webinars that I used to run, I would give myself 45 minutes. I don't think this will take 45 minutes. So it's actually a fairly simple strategy to build, much simpler than some of the other ones that I've built. So let's jump out of here, and I'm going to have to jump out of this presentation and jump into, so this is FX Streamer. Okay, and in actual fact, I've got this EA up and running on my MetaTrader 4 platform here, and we can see that this is one of the back tests I did, slightly different strategy than the one that you saw earlier on, so I've changed the settings here a little bit. So this one here has actually got a take profit of 10 pips, and then it closes all trades at the end of the day. And it starts in 2014, where the other one started in 2015. Okay, so this is a high-risk strategy, don't get me wrong. So you're sort of playing on the fact that you can close out enough trades and profit before your drawdown gets too big. And you can see here, this one works pretty well if you've got a 10 pip take profit. So how does this work? So we've got here our 200 moving average there. We've got our 50 moving average. We've got our 21 moving average, and we've got our 13 moving average. And now we're looking for an engulfing pattern. And if I just zoom in here, hopefully that doesn't lose it for me. Here we go. If we just zoom in here a bit bigger, so we're looking for a bullish engulfing pattern. So you've got the body of this the sell candle, sorry, bearish candle. Then we've got the body of our bullish candle opening up with a gap below the close of the bearish candle and engulfing that bearish candle here. Then we enter our sell trade at the start of the next candle when that candle is finished forming. And we've got another one here. So we've once again gapped down here. So if we can just have a look here, we've gapped down there from that to that, and we've got our bearish candle here being engulfed by our bullish candle. Then we enter a sell trade, and in this one here I've actually put the take profit at the 10 pip mark instead of at the end of the day, but I'm going to leave that configurable for you guys to configure. Okay, so that's how it works. Pretty simple, very simple in fact, and this is how we build it. Okay, so first up, we're going to, and I've already, it's a bit like one of those sort of cooking shows. I've already sort of started it a little bit earlier. I'll actually zoom in here so you guys can see a bit better what I'm doing. Okay, so every single bar, we want to do something. And this is trying to get our entry set up. And what we're going to do is we're going to look for the 13 EMA, so exponential moving average, on the open price, and it's going to be below the 21 EMA, and that's the open price as well. Okay, so we've got that locked in. We're just going to copy this and connect it up. So that's the first condition. The second condition is the 21 EMA needs to be below the 50 EMA, and we're going to update that, and we're going to paste it again. Whoop. The last condition is the 50 needs to be below the 200 EMA, okay? And we're just saving those in. Okay, so now this EA should, in effect, give us this structure here. So we now are happy with 13's below 21, 21's below 50, and 50's below 200. Okay, so that's our stack done, all finished. Simple as that. So the next one is, we're going to, if we open this one up, we're going to get our bearish and bullish candles in order here. So we're actually looking for the body of our bearish candle to be smaller than, be below the body of our bullish candle. Okay, so, and that's candle 2, and this is candle 1. Okay, I'm going to update that. So that's locked in. So we now have this, this candle here. Whoop, there we go. And this entry here, we now have this candle identified as being smaller than this candle, the body size that is. Okay, so that's done. So the next thing is we need to do the gap down. Okay, so the gap down, let's just copy that one. We want the gap down, so let's go, and we want the close of candle 2 to be above this time the close of, the open of candle 1. Okay, so the close of candle 2, which we're looking at here, that's the close to be above, which it is very slightly. It's probably easier to see on this one, above the open of candle 1. And then we enter at the close of candle 1. So we need the entry. So let's add in the entry here. We're only doing sells, so we add that in here. And I'm just going to set up that to be dynamic, so we can change those here. And so that's stop loss, isn't it? Whoop, got them around the wrong way. Sorry. What am I doing? Come on. Get with the program. Stop loss and take profit. And those are set at dynamic, but that's 1,000 and that's 10. And so when I say no stop loss, I could have just selected no stop loss, but I've made it dynamic, so if you want to put a stop loss in the future, you can. We just update that, and that's our entry. Now we need to do our exit. I'm just going to have a quick sip of my drink here. Hang on. That's better. Right, our exit. So if we've got a trade running, we need to close that trade out. And what did I say? We're going to do it once a day or at take profit. So, if you wanted to do it at once a day and ignore the take profit, you just make the take profit really big so it never hits. And we're going to do it at a certain hour, and that hour we've got set at 23:59. So at the end of the day, we're just going to click update. Now we only want to close out profitable trades at that time, so let's just say close profitable trades here. And to make it even more fun for you guys, I'm going to let you close that out at a minimum profit level. So this is set at 0, but you can change it if you want. So you could say once a day we're only going to close trades at a profit level of 5, otherwise we want them to try and hit their take profit of 10 pips, which was what we have set. So that should, in actual fact, unless I've made a mistake somewhere, give us the, and we're going to call this number 1, give us the EA that we're after. So let's give that a quick spin, refresh this so that it appears in our list. You can see there, CAMS webinar EA number 1, and we're just going to select that from the list here. And what we'll do, just to save ourselves having to wait for a whole bunch of time for the test to run, let's just quickly jump in and have a look at these inputs here first. So you can see here we've got our EMA set 13, 21, 50, 200, lot set at 0.01, and so the screenshots I showed you earlier were all 0.01. There was no change to the lot size there, and then we've got a take profit of 10. We're going to close any profitable trades at 0 pips profit at midnight, basically 11:59 at night, and we've got a stop loss of 1,000, which means we don't really want our stop loss to hit. Note, if you changed it and added buy trades in here and had a stop loss of say 15, 20,000, you probably wouldn't actually get buy trades triggering because stop loss would be below 0, and it goes, hang on a sec, I can't deal with that, I'm a robot. We're testing on a balance of 1,000, so let's give it a whirl and see what this does. See if it works. Fingers crossed. Sometimes I make little mistakes, especially if I'm on a live webinar. This one looks like it's working, which is good. Taking our 10 pip profit there nicely, a little bit of drawdown as you expect, And I mean, I can't remember if I've tried this one from 2015, but I mean, my thinking with this EA is that you get to 2,000 and you withdraw 1,000 and you pretty much saved yourself your balance, and then you carry on running it. As you saw earlier, it works on multiple pairs, so you can get it to work on Euro US dollar. You can get it to work on. Actually, I haven't tried any other pairs. So I've done two. As I said, I built it in the weekend, but it looks like a fairly robust EA. It's probably one of the ones I'm more happier with, and you guys are actually pretty lucky to get hold of it on this webinar, because I wasn't expecting to come up with something this good for the webinar, but hey, you're going to get it anyway. All right, so we can see there that ticking along, and let's just stop it and see. If we open our chart up, we'll see one of the trades here, what it looks like. Okay. Oh, hang on a second. What am I doing? Let's go back to the start. This sometimes happens with my machine because there's too much going on, but trust me, it's working. Actually, what we can do is we can just do a quick visualization mode and have a look. Let's just go with that. Sometimes my MetaTrader, especially when I got all these sorts of things running, here we go, let's just stop that. And we can see here the trade. Right, so this one here, whoops, zoom in a bit. Right, so we've got, slow it down a bit here. So this is our 13 EMA, 21, 50 up here, and the 200 must be way up there. Let's have a look at this one here. Quickly, you can see here we've got our bearish, bullish, gap down, enter the sell, goes up a little bit, take profit at 10 pips. Okay, I don't know if we're going to see one closing at the end of the day. If you close it at the end of the day, trust me, it gets a lot more profitable because you're not taking 10 pips, you're sometimes taking 50 pips, but it does come with a bigger risk because your 10 pip profit is not necessarily being hit. Okay, is that one closing at the end of the day? Let's see if we can go to the end of the day. No, nothing open there. Okay, so none of them close at the end of the day this time, but that's essentially it. That is essentially it. Let's jump back into the presentation, presenting mode. Righty-ho. So, but what if it doesn't work for me? Well, this is going to sort of give you a bit of an idea of what does and doesn't work. So, manually testing your strategy. So you can see how easy it was. You know, I built something, got it running, tested it. It took me no more than sort of 10 minutes, and if I hadn't been on the webinar, it probably would have taken me less. So if you get to do it manually, if you're going to test that manually since 2014, this is how long it would have taken you. In actual fact, it probably would have taken you longer. Looking at the number of trades, you probably would have made mistakes. It would have just been, I mean, mind-numbingly boring in the end. You would have been trading it without really sort of fully understanding what you were trading. So manually testing is going to take you weeks to manually test, like not 1, 2, 3, 17 different strategies, changing the settings, changing the EMAs. For example, instead of the 13 EMA, would it work better with a 5 EMA? It's going to take you forever. If you learn MQL, and look, I think this is a bit bullish in terms of the line. If you're really good at coding, you probably get down to days. If you're not, you're probably going to sort of really, you might even hang around the months, to be honest, or definitely up in the week. So this is a bit bullish, but it gives you an idea for this chart anyway. Now, if you're going to use an EA builder, there's still going to be a bumpy road. It's going to be a bumpy road because, and I know this because like I started using them, well, as I said, 7 odd years ago. It was the first time I used an EA builder and couldn't get anything to work, couldn't get the thing to do not even one trade. It was just ridiculous. There's a bumpy road, there's a learning curve, a steep learning curve to try and get your head around everything you need to know to build EAs effectively, and that's why I came up with an EA building course. And the idea behind the course, and what the course does, is it gives you all the information you need so that you can jump into an EA builder, and particularly FX Dreamer, and start building EAs that match the strategies you've got in your head, strategies you find. And if you haven't got strategies, I'm sure Jared can sort you out with strategies and ideas for strategies that you could potentially use with your trading. So basically, you're going to be able to confidently turn any mechanical trading strategy into a MetaTrader 4 or 5 EA trading robot in just a few hours, and all without coding. So you actually do not need to touch any code. I'm yet to touch any code with regard to using FXstreamer and building my EAs. Okay, so the EA building course, just to quickly run you through what's in the course, you're going to find out how to set up your MT4 to get 99.9% backtesting results, so never pay for historical data again. And basically, you're not going to have mismatched chart errors. You're going to be more confident about trading your strategies in a demo and a live account, so you're going to get really, really good, rich data to work with. You're going to learn the ins and outs of FXstreamer EA Builder and how to build EAs fast. You're going to be able to watch as I build EAs step by step using 5 different strategies, and all the tips and tricks, shortcuts and techniques to help you get past those tricky roadblocks. And trust me, there will be plenty of roadblocks when you start building EAs. So this gives you all the techniques that I know, that I've learned over my years of doing it, to get past them. Tactics to make your optimization test runs lightning fast. So this is when you've got a back testing strategy, you actually go along and you test out whether or not this strategy is in actual fact better with a different setting. So for example, I've got those 3 or 4 EMAs there, but they might not be the best ones to use. It might be, the strategy might work way better with different EMAs. So I can change my strategy, I can optimize my strategy and go through all the combinations of 13 EMA all the way through to 1 EMA to 5 EMA to 7, whatever it is. I can test every single possible combination, and I can find out which are the ones that work best. And the good thing is, I mean, if you do this, it does take a lot of time, and it does take a lot of your computer's bandwidth, but what I teach in the course is how you do this really, really quickly to get a good indication to take things forward. So instead of waiting days or weeks for an optimization test to run, you can literally do it in a few minutes. How to host your EAs for free. So I teach you a way to host your trading robots for free, and hosting EAs, if you're unfamiliar, is one of the sort of things you need to do. If you're not looking for signals and you want to fully automate stuff, you need to have a VPS, and I teach you in the course how to get a VPS for free. Usually they cost around $30 to $50 a month. How to monetize your new EA building skills. So there are ways to actually monetize what you do. So even if you take the course and decide not to trade with any of the EAs you build, the skills you will have will enable you to basically get more strategies, help other people out, and sort of really work with other traders to make them more profitable as well. There are some bonuses with the course. You also get over 20 EAs, and you can import them all into your FXstreamer account and change them, modify them as you wish. And you basically get all the EAs that are in my shop. So if you've been into the shop on automatemytrading.com, you get all the EAs that are in there as part of becoming a course member. And those EAs are, in actual fact, not all the EAs that you get in the members area. So we've got I'll show you what else we've got in a second. You also get 10 proven trading strategies. So if you don't have a strategy at the moment, then you've got some strategies to get you started. You get a 3-month FXstreamer subscription boost, which can help you get started there with FXstreamer, and you get a copy of every EA I create in my live webinars. So this one, you will get a copy of this EA. In actual fact, everyone's going to get a copy of this EA. If you stick around for a couple more seconds, you'll get a copy of this EA. But the guys who are in my members area, the guys who are members of the course already, will get not just this EA, but the EA that I've created off the back of it, which is actually sort of even better than this one, and they'll be able to load it into their FXstreamer account and use that as they go. You're going to get free software and a personal license key as well, and there's even more. So there's even more goodies in there that I'm not going to tell you about here, but I want to make sure that my members are happy, so there are some other goodies in the members area as well. Actually, I didn't forget, I did not mention here, there is also a members community where we've shared quite a few strategies in there as well, and EAs, so you can join those guys in the community as well. So the total investment is usually $597 US, but Jared twisted my arm and we came up with a couple of offers for his subscribers and followers there. So there are 2 offers that you guys can pick up here today, and it is for the next 24 hours, and I'll show you the link in a second where you can get everything. So the first offer is $50 course discount, and you get a 1 hour free session with me, and so that's 1 hour of training is usually at $97 an hour, so you effectively save yourself $150. Or you can pick up option number 2, where you can save yourself $100 and get the course for $497 only, and this is a 24-hour offer. And guys, if you're interested in that and you want to download the EA that I built today and give that a whirl, go to automatemytrading.com/Jared. That's the URL there on the screen. You'll see the countdown timer there. When that countdown timer runs out, we will be taking this down. Do we need to run FXstreamer? No, you don't need to have FXstreamer running to use the EA on your machine. You don't have to run that. So you can run, the EA is completely separate to FXstreamer, so you do not need FXstreamer to operate the EA on MT4 Paul. Right, so guys, if you've got any questions, please feel free to throw them forward here. Jared's just posted the link in the chat window there, so if you need to click on the link, there it goes. I'll have a quick scroll up and see if there are any questions that came through whilst I was presenting that I can quickly answer. But yeah, if you've got a question, just post it in the chat and we'll see if I can answer them here. Jared, are you there? Are you online?
Yeah, I'm just looking through the questions real quick. I saw a couple of pop up, and I'll just let's go back, guys. Keep the questions coming, and we'll get to them as quick as we can. There were, let's see, here was a question. Mel asked, does the tool do round trip, meaning from drawing to code and code to drawing?
Drawing to code and code to drawing.
I'll be honest.
Oh, yes, it does. Yeah, so it does do round trip. Yeah, so basically, if I build an EA in FXstreamer, then that creates the code, the MQL code that I put into MetaTrader 4 to run the robot. But I can also go into that code and edit that code if I wanted to, and then I can import that into my FXstreamer. Well, in actual fact, yeah, I can import anyone else who's built an FXstreamer robot. I can import their FXstreamer robot in if I've got the MQ4 file. If I've got the ex4 file, I can't import it into my FXstreamer, but if I've got the MQ4 file, then I can import it. You can also share on FXstreamer your tree structures. So I can share this tree structure with anyone with a link. So if I make that link available, I can share the tree structure, and they can pretty much download that from the tree structure and import it into their own FXstreamer account and start playing with it. So for the guys that join up today, basically you're going to get this one in the members area, and any members that are here listening today, you're going to get that one as well in the members area. Plus, I've made a few amendments to it as well, which make it even more powerful, and we can have a quick discussion around how we can potentially improve it and make it work harder for us. So and so the guys in the members area get all the .mq4 ones, where the guys who buy them in the shops get the .ex4 ones, which means they can't import them into FXstreamer. But you do have the option to buy the ones in the shops that are .mq4, which means you can import them into an FXstreamer account and play with them and try and learn yourself. So you can either, I mean, if you want to go, if you're the sort of person that goes, no, I'm going to try and learn it myself, go for it. You know, you can get on there with a free subscription and do 10 connections, and I think this particular strategy that I built, I'll just count them up, I think it's got less than 10 connections, which means you can actually probably rebuild that one, and yeah, you can rebuild that one easily on the free level and have a play with it. Okay, so that was that. Was there any other? What were the other questions that came through?
Let's see. So Damien asked a question: is the time in FXstreamer, is that broker time or computer time?
So you can choose, right? So you can actually choose whether or not you want it to be your local time, which is your computer time, or you can choose the server time, which is the broker time, or you can choose GMT, Greenwich Mean Time. In all honesty, I never choose anything other than the server time, because it's just easier to understand what it is I'm working with. So when you've got to sort of convert your local time to the broker time, then it becomes, another calculation you have to do.
Awesome, great. And then let's see. Paul's asking, can you use trailing stops with this?
Yep, you can use trailing stops. Trailing stops is essentially one block, easy to set up. It would take, to add trailing stops into this, it would take no more than 2 minutes tops. If you wanted to do it effectively, 2 minutes. If you wanted to do it quickly, 30 seconds.
Perfect. Awesome, awesome. And then Zishan is asking, where can everyone download the EA? And that's going to be at the link on
So
the
that is on
screen?
that link, yeah. That's the link on the screen. So there's a little gift box on the page with a link underneath it. I think that you can click on the gift box as well, and that's where you can download the EA with instructions on how to install it if you're unfamiliar with EAs.
Perfect, perfect. And yeah, so I will post one more time. That link. If you just scroll back there a little bit, there you can see that link, and I'll post that again in just a moment. But that's automatemytrading.com/Jared, and that'll get you hooked up with this EA that Cam put together for us today. Russ wants to know, where can we view all the possible oscillators available?
Or the possible oscillators. So they're within the indicator drop down. So the oscillators it's got the majority of the standard MetaTrader 4 indicators in there, and even more so. And it's also got, you can also import custom indicators in there. So if you've got custom indicators, you can easily import them to add in oscillators that are non-standard. So where I had the moving average, you can pretty much select an RSI, or you can select a stochastic easily enough, or a MACD. So they're all
Perfect.
in there.
Perfect, perfect. Okay, I'm just posting this link again. We're getting um,
I'll go and
some
see if I
more.
can
Whoops,
read some of the
there,
questions as
there,
well.
there was some weird. Let's see. That posted something old. That was the reminder. Anyway, the link's in there. So forget that last part of the message.
Can
And
we use custom indicators in our new EAs? Yes, you can use custom indicators. So I teach you how to get the custom indicators set up. But you can use custom indicators. I've used indicators before where they've been secured. So somebody's got an MQL lock on an indicator, you can use that. It does sort of somewhat depend on what the developer of the indicator has allowed you to see, and sometimes it can be difficult to see custom indicators and get them to work, and that's what I teach you how to sort of get around in the course, is how to make it work with custom indicators, because it is one of those things that can be really, really frustrating. And it was one of those sort of big dips in the learning curve when you sort of work it out and go, yes, that's how I get around custom indicators. That's the shining light of I've now moved 10 steps forward in my learning process. But yeah, once you work out custom indicators, it can become really powerful.
perfect, perfect. Let's see. I think there was just a couple of others. Interesting. Take a look tomorrow. Too late. Okay, excellent, Alvaro. Mel says, is the development, maybe you asked this already, but is the development software, FX Streamer, included in the course? How long does the license last?
Yeah, so it's not included with the course. You get I give you a 3-month subscription boost to course members, so it gets you underway. So you can use the EA Builder, FX Streamer EA Builder for free for unlimited time, and you can do up to 10 connections. So as soon as you get an EA that's more powerful, you need to actually start paying for it. And the subscription levels work like this. So it's just a pay-as-you-go thing. So you can start and stop it as you wish. It's either going to be at the lowest, which I don't typically recommend because it's more of a long-term thing. But at the lowest level, it's $19 a month. The 3-month option is $33, and yearly it's $95, which works out at about $7 or $8 a month, which is a cup of coffee down your local coffee shop, if not cheaper than that, 2 coffees. So it's pretty cheap, and the number of EAs that you actually create and the learnings you get from it, I mean, it's worth it. It is so worth it. I mean, compared to buying an off-the-shelf EA, which might allow you to trade on one currency pair on one time frame with one strategy with a few settings that you can change. And then on top of that, it's like good luck with your back testing and the data and the confidence that you're going to really put behind it. So this gets rid of all those things and gives you ultimate confidence in what you're doing with your building. And look, you don't have to build it fully automated. You can use the likes of Jared's trading strategies and semi-automate things to give you signals, to give you set it up to give you SMS notifications on trade setups or chart notifications like little pop-ups, etc. So there's all sorts of things you can do, and I'll walk you through how you do all of those in the course.
Excellent, excellent, very, very good. Good stuff.
All right.
Okay, guys. Any other questions? So, just as a reminder, to get these offers, remember you can save $100 on one of the offers or $150 on one of the offers. There is actually a countdown timer on the page there. So we're definitely not trying to sales pitch you guys, but this is a special offer, and this is available for those that are attending this live webinar and so on. So make sure that you head over there super quick, and if nothing else, head over to the link right there and download the free EA that Cam has just created for us here, which is awesome.
Damien wants to name the EA Johnson and Hawkins Pip Generator.
I think it's great.
We used to name the EAs on my webinars, so that I used to do. So yeah, we could name it that. I mean, I don't know if this one will go any further than this webinar. To be honest, we'll see what happens.
Yes, absolutely. And Mel's wanting to know is my indicator included in FX Dreama, and that's the one that you created on the podcast. Is that the one you're referring to, Mel? Or which one are you referring to? Good to see you, Mel, by the way. But I believe, Cam, right, with the purchase of the course, you get pretty much all the EAs you've created, right?
Yeah, so you get Jared's EA in there, so that's in there for all the members. So the FX Dreamer version of the one that draws the trend line, as well as counting the moving averages, and you can either use it to draw the trend line and have it running fully automated, or you can have it just giving you signals when you get to the number of candles above the MAs. So you can do either or. You can use it on any time frame or currency pair or some CFD.
Perfect. Yeah. Excellent. Excelente. Okay, good. Very, very good stuff.
Is this a live course with Q&A or DVD with a little support for Q&A? So Russ, in answer to that, so it's not a live course, it's a recorded course. I mean, I do provide support, so email support. So my goal is to make sure that everyone who joins the course gets up and running, is building EAs. If they've got a tough part of a strategy they can't really work through, then I'm always happy to help via email. And I do have, I mean, it sounds like, the 1 hour session might be worthwhile for you, but yeah, so that's how I work. So I want to make sure you guys are able to get to the point where if you've got a strategy, I can either get around the problem for you, help you get around the problem, or get you set up, one or the other.
Perfect. And Mel's last question there. Yep, go ahead.
Yeah, so it does support MT5. So in the course, I focus mainly on MT4, just because it's easier to. There are a few little hiccups with the MT5, not in terms of building the EAs, but when you're actually going between the process of creating EA, getting it into MT5, it's just a little slower. So yeah, you can do it. What I recommend is starting off with MT4, and then when you're happy with the strategy and really want to thrash test it over a bunch of currency pairs, you migrate it to MT5, and the migration process is a couple of minutes. It's really simple. So that's how it works with MT5. Only thing available in the US so far, but soon that might change. Oh, right, MT5 is the only thing available in the US. Is that right?
No, he may be referring to MT4 only. Well, I'm not sure. I don't even know where MT5 would be available in the US. I don't think it is, actually. Maybe that's what he's referring to. I
Yeah,
don't think any broker offers
very
MT5
few
currently.
brokers run MT5, don't they? They sort of it just hasn't had the pickup. Somebody sent an email the other day saying it was going to get, MT. The MetaTrader guys MetaQuote guys are trying to get MT5, as the preferred software, probably because they launched it thinking that here we go, everyone's going to jump onto MT5, and none of the brokers picked it up, or not enough brokers picked it up, and so therefore the MetaQuotes guys are now supporting two platforms, but they still want everyone to go to MT5 because it's the platform. They don't. I mean, why would you want to support two platforms when you could be supporting one? So I think they're. I mean, from what I'm hearing, they're now wanting to sort of, I suppose, move people at a quicker rate to MT5 to make it easier for them, to be honest. Although, the guys that have learned MQL, MT5 is a slightly different coding language, so they need to relearn everything. So they don't want people to move.
Ugh,
So
yeah.
yes, it all gets a bit messy for the guys that have invested time learning MQL to try and move across to MT5, and hence another reason why an EA builder is the preferred way to go.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely. Okay, two last questions here, or keep them coming, guys. We don't want to leave anyone hanging. Russ says he has multiple computers. Does the license allow for multiple computers?
The license for FXtreamer is, I mean, you can, yes, it does. Well, in actual fact, so FXtreamer's got two versions. So there's a local version you can run on your PC, which is not as advanced as the web version. So I think the developer of FXtreamer wants to, similar to the MetaTrader 5 conversation, wants people to migrate more to the web version of FXtreamer and away from the local version. Simply because I think it's, when you've got a local version, you've got people with multiple operating systems, you've got people with different settings on their PC. It just must be an overhead that, from a operational point of view, must be something you don't really want. So with the web version, I think for him, the guys running FXtreamer, I think it's just easier for them to have a local version, sorry, a web version running. So therefore, yeah, you can run it on any number of PCs you want. I mean, I have it running on. I mean, sometimes I'll be away from home and I'm running it, or somewhere else and running it. So the good thing is you can sort of jump on multiple computers and use it. I don't, and it also, yeah, even the local version you can run on multiple computers if you wanted to. Yeah.
Perfect. Excellent. Excellent.
Can I build
Okay.
purchase custom indicators? Oh, so Jan's got one. Can I build purchase custom indicators into my own EA to build? Yes, Jan, you can. You can. Yeah. So you can Sorry, can I build custom EAs into my own EA to build? No, no, you can't. So that's something to clear up there. So basically, you have. Yeah, so you can't, if you just purchase a custom EA, if you purchase an EA that's bought online from somewhere that's not been built in FXtreamer, you can't import it to FXtreamer and just start changing things around. You need to have it's an environment in itself, so if you build it in FXtreamer, you can give it to somebody else who can import it into their FXtreamer. If you've just bought an EA off the internet somewhere, it's not going to be able to, you're not going to be able to bring it in and work with it. Okay, so that is a limitation, but once again, it goes back to the, what are you allowed to do on that EA anyway? Have you got a MQ4 file for it, as opposed to an EX4 or a locked down version of it if you've purchased it?
Perfect. Excellent. Excellent.
Cool.
Good.
And Mel there, what's that one? If FXtreamer supports MT5 and MT4, then it should do the conversion for you. Yeah, I mean, look, maybe that's what they haven't done. It doesn't do the conversion for you, but it's pretty easy to do it. It takes a couple of minutes.
Excellent.
Righty-ho.
Good questions, guys. Good questions. Okay, so one last time here, I'm just going to post this link for everybody. This is where you can download the free EA that we've talked about today, as well as take advantage of the special offer that we've talked about that will last for the next 24 hours. You can save $100 to $150, which, hey, who doesn't like saving a couple of bucks for a really, really great course? As you guys know, I do very few webinars with other people because I have found very few really impressive things to co-host webinars and share with my people. And so when I saw what Cam was doing and everything that he has going, I was super excited, and I definitely wanted to share this with you guys. And make sure you guys got a little bit of a special offer out of it that nobody else will get. So. But I think this is really cool stuff. Again, on whether you want to completely automate your trading and just check on things, or if you want to be able to add some EAs that can just help you with certain things, moving your stop losses for you, or closing trades out in partial profit, or whatever those things are. This is a great way to go if you want to go part of the way or all the way. This is really an awesome way to go. I have had the experience of hiring developers and having overall, it's never really been a good experience, and I've done it multiple times. So I can't really think of anything that was great and easy and awesome and just, worth doing. So it was always a lot of work and a lot of money and a lot of back and forth. And I as well am not much of a programmer person. I don't like to sit and do tedious things. And I feel like, we watched Cam create an EA in 10 minutes maybe. So that's awesome. That's super exciting. I'm excited about this program, and I hope you guys are as well. I think it'll be great for pretty much all types of traders. So really looking forward to this. And thank you, Cam, for joining us. Any last questions before we go, guys? This link will be the link will work indefinitely, but the offer will only be available for the next 24 hours at that link. Otherwise, it'll go up to that price. Without the $100 or $150 discount. So, anyways, thanks everybody for
Thanks for
attending.
having
Very
me.
nice to have you guys with us. And yeah, go ahead, Cam.
Yeah, so just going to say thanks, Jared, for inviting me on. It's been a pleasure. As you mentioned, I sort of can't stress enough how beneficial it is to be able to just create your own or automate parts of your trading and to validate things, to get insight. It's all about information gathering, and this, if it's not going to fully automate everything in your trading, it's going to give you a lot more information than you had before, and just sort of, it's almost like it just opens your eyes up to a lot of different things, and the guys in the community, and you can see if you scroll down on that page, you'll see a few reviews from some of the guys who've gone through the course before, and I've actually got a few that I need to post up there that are sitting in my inbox where guys are actually starting to make money through this EA building process, and the fact that they're able, now much more confident in taking a strategy and being able to automate that strategy or semi-automate that strategy to give them insight to know that they're happier to risk either more money or at least start live trading it and know that it's worthwhile putting the time and effort into live trade it or demo trade it. So look, hey, thank you very much again, Jared. It's been a pleasure. Hope everyone out there watching has a great Christmas. It's heading into that time of year again, and maybe we can do this again at some point in the future.
Absolutely. I am planning on it, and it was really good stuff, Cam. Super excited about all this stuff, and thank you guys for attending. Head over to that link, get that free EA going immediately, and we hope you get signed up for the course. It's a really awesome course, and details are going to be following this whole thing. So thanks a bunch, guys. Great to have you with us, and happy holidays, and we'll speak soon.